Today, we're doing an Oceanside neighborhood driving tour, and I am going to take you through one of the most popular neighborhoods in all of Oceanside, Fire Mountain. And stay to the end because I want to show you one of my very favorite properties with one of the best views and the biggest lots. So stay tuned for that. Let's get started. I'm coming in from the east side of Fire Mountain, so around the very eastern end of Fire Mountain, coming off of El Camino, and I right now am on Fire Mountain Drive. So Fire Mountain Drive is the main road that goes east to west, and it takes you from El Camino all the way through to Downs. It goes past Downs, but it dead ends. We're gonna go to from Fire Mountain to Laurel, and then I'm gonna drive around to Avocado and back down the other side of Laurel so you can see some of the really great view streets and some of the really great view properties. Let's go. So as we're driving here, on the right side, we have the Memorial Park. So there is a large memorial park here in Oceanside, and it's out this direction. It is a very large green area. So really, most of what you see is just open space, a lot of grass, and a lot of trees. So it has a really nice feeling. There are not a whole lot of streets right here across from the Memorial Park. There is a set, as you'll see over here on my left, 70s homes. A few of the models were right here on Fire Mountain, and then there's a few a little bit further up. And then because of the Memorial Park, all of these homes are single-loaded streets. And then here to my left, I'm just gonna go down here for just a moment. We're not gonna spend too much time here, but this is the east side. This is Villas Marca, and this is where all of the condos and townhomes are. So while all of the single family homes sit further west of where we are, if you go down Villas Marca, you're gonna find several different condo communities. And then down towards where Villas Marca hits Vista Way, that's where the Trader Joe's is, where you get your nails done. There's a Bevmo down there. There is a thrift store. There's quite a few little shops there, and you could even walk across the street. There is a Chili's. There's a great Korean restaurant there. There's a barbecue place. There's a Barnes & Noble. There's all kinds of really great restaurants and shopping. So I'm going to turn around because I want to show you some of these single family view homes here. And we are going back on Fire Mountain. So I'm hanging a left here, and we're driving past the Memorial Park. So the Memorial Park's here on our right, and like I said, there's a few homes. There's probably 10 homes down this way. And these homes here, these first 1, 2, 3, 4, were all model homes for a 1970s development. And they had four different models, 2-story and a couple of ranch style. And as we're driving here, you'll continue to see some additional homes here on the left and the Memorial Park here on the right. So we're passing, or we did just pass Portofino, which is one of the through streets between Fire Mountain and Laurel. And then this here is Bailey, another one of the through streets between Fire Mountain and Laurel. So those are quieter streets, mostly 70s tract homes, but due to the age of the properties, of course, everything looks different because people have spent so much time redoing homes and adding and subtracting. So everything looks a little different. But what I want to get you to is to Laurel, because that's where a lot of the custom homes are. And that's like the epicenter of Fire Mountain. That's where people really, really want to be, because you got custom homes. You've got a lot of homes on flag lots. And if you're not sure what a flag lot is, I'm going to talk a little bit about that when I show you one. But you'll see a lot of homes tucked behind homes. They're putting in a new water tower over here. And there's also some development of this house here that's been ongoing for about 2+ years. I haven't seen a lot of activity lately, so I'm not real sure what's going on. This street right here is owned by an LLC, and they do just rentals. So they rent about 4 or 5 homes down that street. So as I am going down this direction, I am on one of my favorite parts of the drive, because you're gonna see all these beautiful trees hanging over the street and all these beautiful pines on the other side. And as you just start to turn the corner here, bam, you'll see the ocean view. However, it is a little cloudy and it is May, and if you don't know what that means a little bit of May gray. So we just get a little bit of overcast in the morning. Today it was sunny from about 11 to 4. And then it's kind of the clouds that come back in. But you normally would see this just amazing ocean view. I can still see it, but it's just not as visible. Obviously, I know it's there. So Laurel runs right and left here. So I'm gonna hang a right and we're gonna go down this direction. So this property here on my right-hand side has well over an acre. They have ocean views, and it's one of the larger properties here on Laurel. There's a couple other properties I'm going to show you in just a minute that have even larger acre lots, but this is on the north side of Fire Mountain, which is where we are. This is one of the biggest lots. There is one tucked behind a couple houses here, and it's 5 acres. You can't see it from the road. I don't know the neighbors, unfortunately, or I would have asked to go check out the property, but it's gigantic. So as you look over here to the left, and I'll kind of pull down this driveway so you can see, this is where you get the ocean views. So starting right where we came in from Fire Mountain, you can start to see ocean views all across. So these are the highly coveted view streets. You get views pretty much all along the north west side. So we're on the north side of Fire Mountain, and on the west side, of course, because everyone's closer to the ocean. But there are some homes on the east side that you'll see that do also get some ocean views, because they can peek either in between or over some of these properties. So let me back up here. Also, this home in front of me, this little white home, this is one of the older homes in Fire Mountain. It was built in the 1920s, and it was built for the farmhands that tended to the tomatoes and avocado groves that were here. And great little single level cute home, small. I think it's maybe like 1,000 square feet, but it's got a fabulous lot and fabulous view. And as we come over here, you'll notice like this house here has a double lot. So they own an avocado grove in front and a house is built in the back. So lots of interesting properties here. And one more thing I want to show you, I'm going to back up just a tiny bit. And I was talking about flag lots. So you'll see if I go a little bit this way, this property gate belongs to a property that is located behind this property here in front. So a lot of people back in the day took the lots and they split them. So this lot was probably about an acre, and they sold off, this person probably in the front owned the whole thing, sold off the back lot, and somebody developed it. So you have homes behind homes with a long stretch of easement, and that's what's called flag lot, because it looks like a flag. So as we come through, you can also see to the left, like this house has a rooftop deck. This one over here has a beautiful deck. This house sold back in, I believe, 2023 for about 1.6, and it was in pretty bad condition. And they've done a really good job of remodeling that house. It looks fantastic now. And it sold with about a half acre. And then continuing to come down, this home here has a very large lot as well. I'd say 3/4 of an acre to an acre potentially. And this home here too has a half acre, 1611 Laurel. Half acre, single level home. That one sold back in 2022, 2023 for 1.5. Has a pool, is a really, really nice yard. So we're coming to this little peak and then down. We're still on Laurel. Here's Cornwall to my left, a cul-de-sac. And I've sold a couple homes here. I sold this home. This home, they're doing some work. They're adding a second story with ocean views. That project's been going on for, a year plus. But as we come here, I'm gonna turn around. Actually, I'm gonna go straight. We're gonna now turn on to Dunston. So here's where Laurel ends, and Dunston goes down the hill here to the right, which you can kind of see, or it goes to the left here, and I'm going down Dunston to the left. So Dunston runs right into Down Street, which is one of the major east-west streets. So Dunston runs this way, and it also runs the other direction, and then it runs and dead ends into Eldine, which is one of the 80s tracked lot streets, Eldine and Knoll. So as we're driving down Dunston, the homes here on the left-hand side, this one, the past couple, and the next few here all have ocean views. So you have a ton of ocean view properties. In fact, this property right here on the left has also a flag lot. So you see a flag lot here at 2425. I love this great property. You can't really see it very well because there's these big trees that are growing that really kind of cover the house. But an older property, I think it's on half acre as well. A great house. It kind of has a log cabin feel to part of it. And there's a couple that's been living there for a long time. This home here, I wanted to kind of point out. So this home is one that I sold back in 2025. So this property had full ocean views from the upstairs, and it was about 2,200 square feet on a 10,000 square foot lot. It sold at 1,675 back about 2 summers ago. So I am now turning on to Avocado. So here again, you're going to see a mix of homes. A couple of these are some smaller tract home developments with like a couple of homes that were built. And you'll see quite a few easements here. So down here to the right, you'll see an easement. And there's actually three homes down there. One that just recently sold for about 1.7. Doesn't have an ocean view, but a really beautiful lot, and it has some really beautiful neighborhood views. And then over here, I was gonna pull in here real quick for you guys. This is one of the new developments here. This is Signal Point, and this is built by Lennar. Home prices start at about $1,799. They do have some incentives, especially depending on what kind of loan you're getting and how much money you're putting down. There are 19 homes in this development, and only 3 have sold so far. So one of the things I think that they didn't do correctly is the homes are way too close to each other. People that are coming to Fire Mountain are looking for custom or semi-custom homes. They're looking for larger lots. Like, you could go almost anywhere and get these types of homes, in my opinion, it doesn't fit in super well with the rest of the neighborhood. And I think that's why they're having a hard time selling them. They're just a little too high for what you're getting. So I'm going to turn around and we're going to go back down Avocado. So Avocado also has some views. So the homes here also have some views, like this home straight ahead in front of me has an ocean view. And as we come over here, this home was built by a family who moved from another street. Full ocean views. And some tiny peekaboo views as you come over here to Zabin. So Zabin runs in between Avocado and Downs. And you'll see some of the homes are not as fixed up as others. This one over here just recently sold last year. Again, kind of a duplex, I think 2-bed, 2-bath. Sold at about $1,675. And that's fuzzy. So we're coming up to California. So California runs all the way past the schools, all the way down into South Oceanside. And it goes just to the side here and it dead ends at French Court. So some of these homes probably no ocean views, the single level ones. The ones that are a little taller, like you see this 2-story here, that one has ocean views. There's also a very interesting easement here that runs right in between Avocado and Downs, and this is actually considered Downs Street. There's about 5 homes down there. One recently went into escrow. It was listed for the second time at $1.549, and it is currently in escrow. I'm not sure what it's sold for. I know a little bit less than that though. So all of these homes, especially right here, are pretty walkable to the elementary school and the grade school. So if you wanted to go walk your kids to Palmquist, very, very easy to do. Very close. Also Lincoln, because Lincoln and Palmquist are right across the street from each other. I'll do another tour on those another time. One of the other things that I kind of always forget to notice, though, want to point out is there really are no sidewalks. There were a few sidewalks as we were coming down Fire Mountain, but really not a lot of sidewalks on Avocado, not a lot of sidewalks on Fire Mountain, aside from where we were. And no sidewalks on Laurel. So I wanted to show you the view streets, so especially Laurel. So I'm going to go back up Fire Mountain to the south side of Fire Mountain on Laurel, or to Laurel on the south side of Fire Mountain, I should say. So at the very top of the hill, you'll notice that that's where the ocean views are. So the higher up you sit, obviously, the more you're going to have an ocean view. Some people are always really curious as to which homes stop having an ocean view, so I'll kind of point that out too. And then I'll point out a couple houses, and then lastly, I'll point out one of my very favorite houses that sold about 2 years ago. So I'm just coming up to Laurel. The stops on at Laurel and Fire Mountain, and we were on the north side. We're gonna go south because I want to show you all of these great view homes. So as we come up this direction, we're headed south, and all of these homes, and I'll tell you kind of when we stop, all these homes here on the right and a lot of them on the left sit up high enough that they have ocean views. Don't think there's any in this group that don't actually. So as we continue on this direction, full ocean views, more ocean view decks. You can see this property here. And not the property I was going to talk about, but also one of my very favorite properties is over here on the left. And I'm going to turn a little bit towards it. So this property is 1786. And it is a beautiful mid-century modern home. It is so well done. It is fantastic. And I just love all the succulents out front. And it's got a little gated entry. It also has some fruit trees. And one of my very favorite things about it is it has a little vineyard. So you can grow your own grapes and make your own wine there. Pretty cool, right? So I'm coming up here to one of my very favorite homes. This is one of my very, very favorite homes in all of Fire Mountain. And I have a few favorites, but this one is really special. And you'll kind of see it as we come here. So I'm looking at the address because I can't remember it. It's not on the 1807. So 1807 Laurel. So you have full lagoon views, full ocean views. This house sold in April of 2024. So it'll have been 2 years, or actually was just 2 years that it sold. 3,000 square feet. And it was listed as a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom because it really only had 2-bedroom and 2-bathroom on the top. But down below, there were huge, mostly storage rooms. It was kind of a funky setup. But the people that bought it have done an extremely amazing job with it. It has a full veranda with a full ocean view. Not only that, but this property is 1 acre. They're also building a brand new ADU. There was a secondary home on the property that they took down. So amazing home, sold 2 years ago for $2.275, which is an amazing price to get that much acreage and to get such a beautiful home. So this is one of my favorites. Want to kind of continue to bring you down here. So still have some ocean views here. Still have ocean view here, a little bit more of a peekaboo because there's some trees here on this side. This family that lives here off of Williams Lane has a really large acreage, and I believe the daughter inherited it from her father. And I love this little property because there's some small little casitas they rent out sometimes, usually to artists because they're artists, and a really beautiful older ranch style home with just lots of really cute gardens and those cute little homes. It's a really neat property and with full ocean views there as well. So as we come down here, the homes still on the east side have a little bit of an ocean view, but we're getting down a little low where some of these homes here on the right, they're not going to have ocean views. So I'll show you one of the last homes that recently sold. You'll have some ocean views here at this home, but as we get down the hill, pretty much you're gonna kind of lose your view. So once you get down this far, you're not gonna have much of an ocean view, but you might have some hill views and neighborhood views out that way. So what I do want to show you is this home here on the left. So it's currently for rent, but I'm going to pull into the driveway real quick because I know there's nobody living here right now. So this home here sold in December of 2024 for $1.7. The house is just shy of 2,800 square feet, and I believe it was like $2,790. The house is on 0.6 acres, which you can't even really tell from the front, but it's got a really nice large lot in the back. It was a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, had some vaulted open beam ceilings. Really, really cute house, and the family that bought it ended up renting it right away. So this is one of the most recent sales here on Laurel. Just wanted you to see that. So let me continue down here. I want to make sure I don't hit anybody. Down to the bottom of Laurel. So as we head down here, oh, and by the way, if you haven't noticed, Laurel does have speed bumps because it is a little bit of a through street. So we have had some issues that have been resolved quite a bit with speeding, and it's mostly people that don't live in the neighborhood. So they installed these about 2-3 years ago. Fire Mountain does not have them because it is the main thoroughfare for the neighborhood. As you get down here we are. We passed Bailey. We're back at Portofino. Those 2 streets that I told you ran in between Laurel and Fire Mountain. And then this last house here, single livid street. So pretty cool. That's the last street on Laurel. So I'm going to stop at the next stop sign here on Rudder, and I'm going to turn around. But I want to say thank you so much for joining me on this tour. And by the way, this is one of the smaller and nicer condominium communities here, Seawind. There's only about 33 units, but we'll talk about that later. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you got a little bit more of an idea of some of these view streets, specifically Laurel, a little bit on Avocado, and a little bit more of what it looks like on the east side of Fire Mountain. And if you're trying to determine if Fire Mountain is going to be your next home, please reach out to me. I help people all the time who are reaching out, looking at Fire Mountain to see if it's a viable option for them, trying to understand what the community looks like. I'd love to help you compare this neighborhood to some other neighborhoods so that you can make the right decision for you and your family. Not only that, but we have a neighborhood guide about Fire Mountain and South Oceanside, and it also compares to some of the other neighborhoods, including Henny Hills and Lima Alta. All here pretty much on the west side in zip code 92054, and then Henny Hills is in 92056, just on the other side of El Camino from Fire Mountain. But I appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. If you're getting really good information, please hit the subscribe button. I put content out like this all the time, and I will see you on the next one.